At Act for Autism, we want to bring you a person-centred view of autism. You can study in books, you can look into the medical side of autism, and that's all very useful, but actually all the autistic young people we work with say it's about us, it's about who we are. So we want to support you being able to make connections with young people, the people you live and work with, so you can find out more about them, from them, and thus learn more about autism.
People ask, what is autism? Well, what it isn't an illness. It can't be cured. What causes it? People say it's genetic, people say it's to do with the environment. Researchers don't actually know at this point. What are some of the differences? Well, differences in communication, differences in interaction, differences in sensory processing, differences in the way that the brain actually works. They're differences, they're not deficits, they're just differences. And once those reactions can seem different, then that person can feel isolated because they know that everybody's looking at them and thinking they're a bit different.
We'd like to share with you a very simple, low-cost intervention, and it's called the 3C pathway. Whatever you're doing with the young person you're working with or living with, this will be a supplement. And in fact, this should be the precursor. So we talk about connecting first, and what that means is really understanding where they're at, being empathetically connected, but it also can mean physical connection, being alongside, sharing a moment with them, or asking them something but not expecting anything back, sharing something of yourself, noticing something they've done well. So those would be called connected moments. The next thing to think about is calm. We often talk about calming the child, but what we think is that you can't go anywhere close to calming the child if you're not calm yourself. We're often meeting the child when they're in a heightened state of anxiety, which makes us anxious. So you need to think about, what's my level of anxiety and can I do anything about it? We talk about breathing, we talk about rhythmic states. And only then, once you've connected and you've assessed your state of anxiety and brought it down, can you think about communicating. And traditionally we think about communicating with words. Possibly not. Gestures, secret signals, images. We talk about connecting, calming and communicating on their terms. We've also introduced something which is taken from quite a few interventions, floor time and intensive interaction, and it's called clear time. And clear time can be interpreted as a state of being for you, so that you would be clear of distractions, clear of anxiety, and clear of expectations. It's about finding moments in the day where you can just stop and be present. So if you practice that, becoming clear, by maybe when you're boiling the kettle, just stop and notice and breathe, rather than being busy doing something else. If you practice those moments of being present, of being really clear, when you're with the young person or the child, it's much easier to find that, to bring that back into your practice.